Your forecast, snow showers moving in, followed by bitterly cold wind chills. I'll have more on how long it lasts coming up.
I just hope that people can keep faith in themselves, that they're truly innocent, and they know they are. Just keep faith, have faith in God.
And he was convicted of murder decades ago, but now he's been cleared. 11 Investigates sits down with Eric Misch to talk about his case. And the Wood County community remembers a champion and advocate for local senior citizens. Thanks for joining us here on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Marantet. Let's get to your top stories for this Wednesday night. But first, we are going to check in with meteorologist John Birchfield.
Hey, Kaylee, going to be a very cold day tomorrow as an Arctic cold front sweeps through the area. That'll bring us not only some snow showers, but also wind chills that could dip down below zero, and a few snow flurries also through the evening and your Thursday as well. Temperature-wise, it doesn't look so bad just looking at that temperature map, dipping down below freezing in the Toledo metro, but it's really that wind that is noticeable. And due to the west winds associated with this cold front, we are starting to see some wind chills in the teens, including Wauseon and Hillsdale, where that feels like is plummeting. Here's a look at that cold front knocking on our doorstep with a brief, short-lived cold blast in the wake of that front. Also some scattered snow showers across southern Michigan and northern Ohio as this system moves on through. Any snowfall is expected to remain fairly light, although a coating of snow on your driveway or your car certainly possible. Take it easy on the roadways in case there are a few slick spots. Hour by hour shows that front racing on through. Tomorrow could see a few isolated flurries streaming in mainly off of Lake Michigan. Those are more likely to impact areas northwest of Toledo, like Hillsdale and Lenawee counties. But the cold wind is going to be the most noticeable impact for your Thursday, with that feels like in the single digits to even briefly below zero. Hour by hour temperature forecast. These are the air temperatures you're going to wake up to tomorrow in the mid-teens, but the wind chill is going to be even colder than the mercury suggests. That wind chill near zero in Toledo, with a few spots mainly west dropping down into the negatives. Into the afternoon, we are expecting wind chills that'll only be making it to the single digits, so a very cold afternoon. You'll want to have multiple layers and the hat and gloves handy. A very cold day, 21 degrees, but the winds may gust to 35 miles an hour. Winds are going to be blowing in from the west, and that'll make it feel considerably cooler than your thermometer shows. Heading downtown for our WTOL 11 Gift of Joy, we're looking at temperatures that'll be in the teens and an overall cool, chilly day. You'll want multiple layers and that heavy winter coat. Heading into the weekend, though, a milder feel is expected, and we're looking at a forecast that is going to bring us some above average temperatures. This cold snap is going to be very short-lived. We do have chilly weather continuing Friday. There is going to be a bit more sunshine, but temperatures still below the freezing mark. A warm up on tap for the weekend. Saturday, mostly cloudy conditions, a slight chance for a late day shower, but overall, most outdoor plans going to be a go for Saturday. Sunday is more likely to bring us some rain chances and a warmer setting as well. Into the start of next week, Monday's temperatures surge to the lower 50s. Quite the change from the bitter cold tomorrow to early spring type feel. Rain, snow showers Tuesday as our next cold front moves on through, and in the wake of that front, temperatures are going to level out towards the end of the forecast. Overall, we are expected to drop down and have several days that are going to be slightly above freezing, but the weather outlook through mid to even late December is expected to remain above average. Overall, the only real cold that we have is coming in the next 48 hours, Thursday and Friday. Make sure to bundle up for the Gift of Joy. Look forward to seeing all of your faces outside of our studios. And Friday, you can get those sunglasses, but you'll still need the winter coat. More coming up in your WTOL 11 weather forecast on air at 11.
For 26 years, Toledoan Eric Misch was locked up for a 1992 murder. For 26 years, Misch told anyone who would listen he had nothing to do with the killing. He no longer has the murder on his record. That's because a judge granted him a new trial. And then last month, the prosecutor's office dropped all charges. For the first time, Misch is discussing that legal journey with lead investigator Brian Duggar.
December 9, 1993. 17-year-old Eric Misch stood before a jury. Did he help kill a man in Toledo's Wilson Park? The jury gave its answer, guilty.
Honestly, everything went numb. Everything was like, I guess it was like you can't hear nothing, or, you're just standing there like, I'm like, I didn't know how to react. It was just, I went up to the floor and started crying. Back to my cell.
November 25th, 2024. 48-year-old Eric Mish stood before Judge Gary Cook. The murder charge dropped as if it never happened.
It's a big burden off my shoulders. You know, I feel like it's like really a breath, like I can finally breathe, and I don't have to go and say, you know, I don't have to ask a parole officer, can I leave the state, or, you know, it's just, I'm able to, I want to be able to take my wife somewhere. And
For 26 years, Eric Mish lost his freedom. Police said he and 4 friends beat up and killed Vernon Huggins. Someone mentioned his name to police. Detectives told the then 16-year-old that they knew he was involved. He quit fighting. He confessed.
I was scared. I mean, I didn't know what else to do, honestly.
Were you thinking, if I confess, this will all go away?
I just wanted to get it over with. I came home, I went upstairs, was crying. I remember my baby brother coming up, what's wrong? And I told him, I said, I did something wrong, you know, and he goes, well, you gotta tell the truth. I said, I know. And that's what happened, and then I got charged.
While police were grilling Mish, they were also receiving Crime Stopper tips. One said Huggins was in a bar with a man who killed a woman the night he died. Another said Huggins was confronted by his girlfriend's family over a robbery. One family member carried a heavy table leg, similar to the murder weapon. His uncle told police all about it. None of it was told to defense attorneys or even prosecutors. The Wrongful Conviction Project found it through record requests.
There's one specific document that I think was, the most shocking and the most impactful. And I remember getting to that and, am I reading this right? And I messaged my co-counsel like, am I reading this right? Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing?
It was a police interview with the uncle.
And that uncle described the events just hours before of Vernon coming to his home. While he was there, he was confronted by 3 individuals. The uncle was able to describe them. They did not match Eric. They did not match any of Eric's co-defendants.
In late 2020, Jay Gast, an investigator for the prosecutor, turned over additional evidence he found to the state to be tested. A bottle near Huggins contained the DNA of a known acquaintance, not Mish or his friends.
I think anyone who looks at that evidence knows how important it is. And, the state, the prosecution, they have an obligation to give evidence like that over to the defense, and that did not happen here. I wasn't there. I can't say why that evidence didn't make it to the prosecutor's office or why that evidence didn't make it to the defense team.
As the legal battles played out, Mish fought to survive.
I worked a lot, worked maintenance, worked in the kitchen. I got my associate's degree from Findlay University. I went through my anger part during the first part of my years, like frustration and angry about being there. But it's not gonna be helpful. You're just gonna be miserable the whole time. I mean, you just gotta find other things to take your mind off it.
In 2020, he was paroled to a different prison, a prison with no walls, society's perceptions. He was a free man, but a convicted killer.
I've had people tell me they were gonna hire me, do my background check, because they'll ask, oh, you got a felony older than 7 or 10 years? Of course I got a felony older than that. Oh, we're not worried about it. And then when they found out what it is, oh, we're sorry, we can't.
But in 2023, Mish began to reclaim his life. His attorneys presented the newfound evidence in court. 6 months ago, Judge Cook gave him a new trial. Last month, the prosecutors gave up their fight. The lead detective is dead. The others involved don't remember. The fight is over, but some scars would never be repaired. So you had a child before you went into prison?
She was born while I was in prison. I was not able to be her father.
So what's it like now?
Still waiting. That was a main goal in my life, was to be a father.
Our system is flawed. It's not perfect. Mistakes happen.
I just hope that people can keep faith in themselves, that they're truly innocent, and they know they are. Just keep faith, have faith in God.
That was Brian Ducker reporting. Eric Misch is 48 years old now. He spent 26 years in prison. He's the first convicted killer in Lucas County to be exonerated. 4 friends, Joseph Ricard, Louis Costella, Mel Vesquez, and Larry Vesquez, are now fighting to clear their names, and the prosecutor is not resisting their efforts. We will be sure to keep you updated. One person is recovering in the hospital after flames broke out of a home in East Toledo. Police say the 72-year-old inside had extensive burns on his arms and face. The call came in at 3 o'clock this morning for a home on Emerson. Police say 3 other people were inside but were not hurt. One of them pulled the 72-year-old from the house. They're now trying to figure out what sparked the fire in the first place. The Wood County Committee on Aging said goodbye to a trailblazer last month after Executive Director Denise Neese passed away. She spent nearly 2 decades making sure seniors were taken care of. Sophia Pericone has more on the legacy she leaves behind.
Denise Neese spent nearly 20 years working to give seniors a better quality of life.
I would need at least a lifetime to tell you about Denise, her legacy.
In 2006, Neese took over as the Wood County Committee on Aging's executive director. Board member Nancy Arell says her friend and colleague was only the 2nd person to lead the organization since opening in 1973.
She always said that she was an old soul, okay? And that she could relate better with older adults than she could with a younger population.
And up until her passing last month, Arell says Neese moved mountains for Wood County's oldest population, from introducing dozens of classes and programs to keep the community active, to getting funding to build Bowling Green's 38,000 square foot senior center.
One of her primary goals was to make sure that the senior center was accredited. This senior center was the first to be accredited in the state of Ohio.
And making sure even the most isolated seniors weren't forgotten.
One of the things that she always stressed was with our home delivered meal program, that it was more than just giving a hot meal, but it was a well check to make sure that those older adults were having some sort of contact.
Jason Miller, the committee's manager of human resources, says that while Neese may have been short in stature, she stood tall as a giant when it came to helping the elderly.
No matter what your socioeconomic status was, it didn't matter. If you were an older adult, she was here to advocate for you and ensure that you got the services that you needed.
Since Neese's passing, Arell says many seniors have asked about the future of the senior center, activities, and the home meal delivery program.
They recognized how important Denise was. We had to reassure them that no, it will continue.
And Miller says Neese wouldn't let them have it any other way.
I could almost hear her saying, you know, there's no time to stop. Keep giving out those home delivered meals.
That was Sophia Pericone reporting. There will be a celebration of life for Denise on Saturday, January 11th from 1 to 6 at the Wood County Senior Center. It is open to the public. People in Pemberville will soon have to spend a day off the grid. The village's mayor there says there will be a planned power outage Monday because of a substation powered by First Energy is reopening. While some businesses downtown are planning to close, others will stay open but cannot accept credit cards.
That's probably the most frustrating thing for us is not being able to, help our customers. If they get here to the door, we'll certainly try to help them. But, this time of year, there's a lot, and you kind of forget how much you actually use electricity.
The mayor says the outage will start around 8:30 on Monday morning and end around 4:30 p.m. You remember this, right? The brawl after the Ohio State